Assistant U.S. Attorney Elizabeth Rogers laid out the prosecution's case.
Consumer prices climbed by 2.5% in August compared to the same time last year, decelerating more than expected and offering positive news for the Federal Reserve just days ahead of an anticipated interest rate reduction.
Inflation slowed sharply from the 2.9% year-over-year rate recorded in the prior month.
In the densely packed Al-Mawasi camp for displaced Palestinians, most residents were asleep when Israeli bombs hit in the early hours of Tuesday.
Homes, belongings, and entire families were destroyed in the expansive refugee camp.
Justin Timberlake has reached an agreement to settle his driving while intoxicated case in the Hamptons, sources close to the matter have said.
The pop star is expected to appear in Sag Harbor Village Court on Friday to plead guilty and pay a fine resolving the misdemeanor charges.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be
What a
interpreted
holy
as
bunch of
statement
crap
fact.
that was.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Holy
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Holy bunch of crap, Batman. Holy bunch of crap.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
I'm gonna feed this cat to a Haitian any minute now.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking.
I got a cat that
That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know, it's been a whole week. It's been a complete full week of Haitians eating pets. And my pets are still being a pain in the ass. Can't find a good Haitian when you need them. They're voodoo. Oh, I'm a racist. You bet I'm a racist. I'm a Haitian. I'm a Haitianist. Racist. Oh, good morning. Friday the 13th. Oh yeah, Jinx. You know what? It should be a black cat. Well, good morning, folks. It's Friday. It is Friday the 13th. Friday, September 13th, 2024. And hopefully the voodoo, the Haitian cat-eating, dog-eating. What if you got a pet pig? I don't know. Then everybody in America will be coming to eat your pet. Slice that sucker up. Bacon, baby, bacon. Oh, we can't get bacon because of the windmills. I don't get that. I'm already confused. You're already confused. And it's Friday morning. But Friday morning. Is it the last? I don't know. It's kind of like next to the last. How about that? Next to the last Friday of summer. Already feels like fall. I was thinking this morning it's less than 100 days to winter. And I was getting myself very depressed. And that's it. So that's the show for you today. Thanks for coming. Now, I do think we have a good show for you today, although I don't know what it is. Leanne Linsky from plausible.com is going to be with us. I'm not sure. My calendar says she's going to be at 9:15, but somehow I think that's not right because she's on the West Coast, and it probably should be 10:15. I can't imagine somebody getting up at 6:15 a.m. to be part of this nonsense. I mean, 7:15 is much better. Whatever. So I'm not sure when she's going to be here. She will be here. That's the point. In the meantime, I have a cat that desperately wants to be eaten not by me. I gave up cat for Lent 100 years ago. But Here's the thing. Marianne Williamson, the crazy tea leaf voodoo tarot card knucklehead. She put out a tweet yesterday that people debunking the Haitian, Springfield, Ohio Haitian cat eating cult story should not be doing that, because voodoo is a real thing for Haitians, and we're going to find out that they actually do. That's pretty friggin' racist. You think I'm racist? You think I'm a racist? Yeah, you're right, but that's a pretty racist thing to say. Not all Haitian. Listen, not all. I've had some Haitian people in my life. Some of them have beliefs that voodoo might be a real thing, but I've never seen one eat a cat. Never seen one suggest that, hey, your pet cat, you mind if I eat your cat? No one ever said that to me. I mean, we could get, if I were somebody like, if my name were G.D. Fenderson, let's just say, I might look for a low-hanging fruit joke about eating pussy. But I'm not G.D. Fenderson, so I won't say something ridiculously childish and weak in a comedic sense about eating pussy. But if I were, I would. Anyway, the voodoo lady, the tea leaf lady, is just, but she doesn't get called racist for that. That's a absolutely racist thing to say. And you don't care. So why am I even bother talking about it? Because it's Friday morning, and I have to say something before we go to commercial. That's why. I'm just sick of it all. I'm sick of it all. And it's to the point where it's affecting my my sanity, whichever the threads of sanity I had before I started this nonsense, they're all gone. They're all gone. And so I'm clinging on. I'm holding on by just a little thread. Anyway, it's probably a good time for me to subscribe to something like this.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
And in the room right now is the fabulous Citizen Kane. Orson Welles played him 100 years ago in a movie. He's still young. How about that? And my best friend of the last 37 years, I forget his name. I am Black Bass.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you having trouble finding good meat, dogs, cats, and geese for your old family recipes? Come to Mind Dog TV for all of your meat needs. Marbled Ron, Supple Matt, Meaty Stevie, and for those of you who like dark meat, me. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries and eat more poi.
I've had a lot of friends who've had, not a lot, I've had some friends who've had pet ducks. I never in my life had a friend who had a pet geese. And I don't think pet geese is a thing. Goose. Nobody has a pet goose. And if they do...
Well, I had friends who had both.
Oh, really?
Geese
Goose
and ducks.
Really? All right. So I've been proven wrong again. Somebody has a pet goose. But you know what? How fucking weird do you have to be a friend of G.D. Fenderson? This is they also kind of.
Well, she rescued animals, and so she had dogs and cats
from Haitians. She from kidnapping Haitians. She rescued animals from that.
No, because there are no Haitians in our neighborhood. We're in Carroll County. You need a special permit to be a Haitian in Carroll County.
We have a lot of Haitians listening to this program, and once they find out that there are geese in your neighborhood, forget about it.
No, but in Carroll County, if you were born Haitian, once you move into the county, you have to change your ethnicity to something more acceptable.
Dominican.
Or Haitian or Haitian. I'm not Haitian. Dominican, Puerto Rican.
No,
Just
because Haiti. I don't know if you know this. Haiti and Dominican Republic are one island. It's just split in half. So you cross it, go over the road, and you're in Haiti.
It's not even a road. It's like a chalk line. I've seen it on the map. It's like a little black dotted line.
It's goose blood. It's drawn in
You
goose
just gotta
blood.
you got to get yourself identified as one of the good ones, GD. That's all.
GD Fenderson. So suck my dick.
What? I didn't get that. I have to. You didn't send me that one, Ron.
No, I just made that one this morning.
I know, but you had them yesterday.
Not loud enough. Not loud enough.
Yeah.
Well, I can make it louder on my computer.
I went to this Parrot app. Now, there's a bunch of others that are competing with that seem okay. Let's just say okay, but some of them are more cartoonish with the characters on it. That Parrot seems to be the best one with video and syncing it up like the Rogan thing.
Yeah, that means they're going to be involved in a lawsuit pretty soon.
And
so
I'm not endorsing Parrot, by the way. I'm not saying you should go over there and buy it. They're not a sponsor. I'm just saying it seems to be the best one out there. I did not buy it because I feel like once I give them it's only $7 a month, a week or something like that. But I feel like the minute I press that okay, I'm going to be locked into that $7 a week for eternity and have no way to cancel it. And I'll be, 100 years from now, my heirs, the heirs to the great Mind Dog estate, will be paying $7 a week for it.
Normally what I do is I'll sign up for it like you did for that $7. Then I go right
and then change your identity and move to another country.
No, I just go right into my subscriptions and I turn it off right away.
I see. I wish I knew how to. I can't turn off my subscriptions because
it's super easy in your iPhone, Matt.
You think so? Here's the problem with me. I'm retarded. No, that's not the real problem. I mean, that could be part of the problem. It's certainly an element. But I had, when I first signed up for my Apple account, I had matt@mckinder.com. That email address is gone. So if I try to change anything, they send an email to matt@mckinder.com, which doesn't exist anymore. So I'm in a endless loop of not being able to log in, change anything. I'm fucked. Apple fucked me in the ass without a drop of lube and then left me there to cry.
And I don't understand. That's one thing I don't understand, because I still, for some reason, the first email I ever had was like gdfenderson@comcast.net, like 20 years ago. That is still like the default email and I haven't had Comcast for like a dozen years, but that's the default email account. And whenever I sign up for something, it said, "Is this you?" It's like, no, it's not me. It hasn't been me for like
I like
20
the way
years.
he said that. A little bit of anger and no. You're growing. I like it. My influence on you is just showing a little bit in this. No. Because that's how I would react. I would be, no, where's my fucking gun? But yeah, so I can't do anything with Apple. I'm stuck in eternity. Once I say yes to something, they're just gonna bleed me dry. I paid for things last night that I have no idea what the hell they are. Yeah, it just automatically deducted. How do I fucking find these people and tell them to stop billing me?
I went to I canceled a subscription that I wanted for a month. Actually, I didn't even need it. Turns out after a while, I just never used it again. I used it like 2 times and never used it again. So I canceled that subscription, and I had another subscription that again I used once, and I'm like, I can't. So I thought I canceled it. I didn't cancel it. I canceled. They both had like similar names, and only canceled one instead of 2. And I'm like going along with my merry way, and all of a sudden, bam! I get like a yearly subscription right out of the checking account. I'm like, what the Matt is what I said. And turns out I canceled that. And turns out I didn't cancel it. So okay, Morgan.
Yeah, you have a merry way or something. I went along my merry way. You have a merry way? Where did you get this merry way from? I want a merry way. I've never had a merry way.
Oh, you can. They're easy to get. You can't get rid of them once you sign up for them. But yeah.
Okay. I have this fucking hangnail. It's driving me crazy, and I can't find my clippers. Do you know
Cancel the
anybody who's
subscription.
got more fucking hang-ups than me?
Yeah, but most of them are being institutionalized.
That's right. I should be institutionalized. That would make life easy for me. I'd have a nurse come in and say, "No, go to bed now. Here's your Jello. Go to sleep, stupid. Here's your pills." And then come on, wake me up.
I want rice pudding. You know what? You know that gives you gas, Matt. You can't have rice pudding.
I did make another video yesterday.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Let us know when
we had no doubt. We knew you did. As a matter of fact, yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is two old dudes talking.
Donald, thank you for inviting me over for dinner. It shows even with our differences and your mental fitness, we can have a civilized dinner.
You're welcome, Joe. I shipped in some of the best pets from Springfield, not those other shitty cities that won't eat their pets.
Donald, why are you wearing a robe and it's untied? Your belly looks like a dumpster full of Big Macs.
You know, I love Big Macs. So American, not the China Big Macs. Don't worry, Joe, with my belly hang. You won't see my little salad, and believe me, it's tiny.
I know. Listen, you got to take care of yourself, man. Look at this. This is Pennsylvania steel right here, not a Florida mushroom head.
I got to say, it's unbelievable, Joe. At your age and so rock hard, you can't leave, but damn, you are laying the pipe.
Oh, Donald, why is Vance hiding under the table? We know he's your pet, but damn, you use him like a porta potty at Kitty Rock show.
Yes, Joe, it's not like I respect him. I can't believe you chose a nasty woman as your successor. I like nasty men who are easily emasculated and love humiliation.
Interesting. Hey, Donnie, I just farted and it actually smells better in here now. Why is that?
Vance still hasn't emptied my piss and shit buckets. Plus, Ivanka keeps shitting in my desk drawers. Look at this hot dog. Pure Labradoodle. I'm going to suck this down just like Crashing Grinder at the RNC.
Do you mind if I use Vance like the toilet on Air Force One? You left so many shit streaks on the wall.
Joe, that wasn't me. Not me. It was Putin. That some bitch is nasty. I can't get enough of these pet hamsters. This sure beats drinking the blood of babies and offering a sacrifice to my lizard overlords.
Simon, man. Hamsters? Damn, that mescaline is kicking in. Are you concerned about the brain worms? Old Salty Shorts Kennedy probably fighting some animal in the woods. I know you miss me.
I do miss you. Somehow people thought I looked competent around you. We are both old fossils that the world has passed up by. Vance is telling old fossils to watch kids. Are you kidding me? You're Biden. We should give Vance a great golden shower.
That's tasty.
Now, how did you manage to get a microphone and a camera in obviously a private place? Mar-a-Lago. What you do?
It had to be two cameras, by the way. It's a two-camera shoot.
That's two cameras. Now, did you disguise yourself as an Asian lady, saying you weren't there to steal documents from Trump, and that's how you got into Mar-a-Lago?
He just wanted to talk about pets, and sometimes old guys just get together and have chats.
I'm impressed that. What I am impressed with is that AI will let you say all that foul shit and just say, okay, and use those images. That's what impressive to me. But it seemed to me AI, and let's just be clear, we started the morning with GD criticizing AI's drawing ability. But in that instance, AI turned Donald Trump into a New York Jew. He was talking very quickly, like a little bit like what's his name? Jackie Mason. I had a finger over here. Hey, Joe. It's like hey Joe. Hey. Trump is not a New York Jew. He's
a New Yorker.
Enough.
He does talk fast. Yeah, you're right. The AI does speed him up a little, it seems, but he does talk like that sometimes when.
Yeah, but the accent when he said, I didn't go there, Joe. That was a Jackie Mason kind of inflection on that.
Didn't you? I'm pretty sure that you wrote Kid Rock and it said Kitty Rock.
Yeah, I put it in there as Kitty Rock on purpose.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of long. Now, was that Parrot that did that?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
So
that's
they don't have a time limit. You could do a soliloquy. You could do a 2 hour full length feature movie.
no, you're allowed like 300 in the text. You can do up to 300, and
Wow.
so I did that piece by piece.
I'm very concerned that you really need to get something better to do with your life. I mean, when I use AI, it's really I don't spend a second on it to write that out. First of all, you can't just say that was stream of consciousness. You were thinking like, what's funny here, and that took you some time and energy and effort. And I think you're wasting your talents. Or you're not getting high enough. Or you're not getting high enough.
I said, Matt, if I could suggest something that you can do to promote the show, have some shirts made in Ron's size, like 4 or 5 shirts in Ron's size, that promoting Mind Dog TV, because Ron is going to be pulled before the Congress in some kind of hearing, and he's going to be there for several days. So give him a different Mind Dog shirt to wear for each day of his congressional hearing. See, the next AI hearing that they have, Ron is going to be there.
And that was sort of like, when I put that together, that was sort of a stream of conscious, because I just sat down like, what would a conversation between these two sound like? And I just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Wow.
Then I threw all those clips in my editor, put them together, and
well, let me just say this.
Mindbloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemize.
Well, I don't know, maybe. Because they say psych a lot in that commercial. I didn't realize how psychedelic, psychological, psychiatric. It's like, hey, you're talking my language, psych. I need some Mindbloom. Hey, you people out there, buy some Mindbloom, test it out for me, because I need a tester. And then hopefully I will start to feel more like a normal human being at some point in the near future. I'm guessing because of the time that Leanne is going to be on in the second hour, but on my calendar it says the first hour. Maybe I should look it up. You think I should look it up on Calendly?
No, just call her.
Of course I should.
I
don't have I don't have a number. You have a number. Call her. You're her best friend.
Oh, actually, her best friend is Brian, but I'm like,
she's in on the second hour. That's 10:15. That makes sense. She's on the West Coast. Why would somebody torture themselves by getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be on the show? 7 o'clock in the morning is not torture.
Well, when I was in Alaska, I got up and I tried to get on the show, but I just didn't have any signal.
You know, because you were not sleeping anyway. You were getting raped all night, and you were just still recovering in the morning from your trauma.
It's funny when my buddy and I, Doug, we got to our room. Yeah, when my buddy and I, when we got to our room, on our desk, on the desk, you know, that's in the thing, it said "Happy Anniversary," and it gave us a congratulations card. And I looked at Doug and said, "Doug, did you know when we were married?" He goes, "Yeah, but I didn't know that today was our anniversary."
Well, normally that would be a divorce incitement. You don't remember our anniversary? Come on, that's it's over. It's over. It's been a nice run. But...
You know, it's like we decided, well, before we told them we're not married, let's find out what kind of discount we get.
Yeah,
see if it's worth it.
I'm all for that. I missed my discount at the reservation for my birthday, and I'm going to regret that until next year. It's like I can't wait till I turn 66 so I can get my next discount, my big discount, my birthday gift of white weed. That's what I want. Did you guys see any of this? First of all, the Trump people, the cult, has gone out of their way to try to prove the cats, dogs nonsense is real. So they found this guy produced a video with some dirtbag looking middle-aged dude on the street saying, and they called him a Springfield, Ohio resident. Now it doesn't even look to be filmed in Springfield, Ohio, because the guy was kind of wearing a winter coat. It's like, it's not fucking winter in Ohio. What the fuck? Yeah. But you could take anybody off the street and just tell him, because he didn't identify his name. He said he was standing there and some Haitians pulled up in a van with a van full of 100 cats, and they were grabbing cats off the street and stuffing them in the van and driving off. And first of all, I don't know if you've ever tried to catch a cat, a cat that's not yours. Good luck. You know,
I can't even
maybe
catch a cat that is mine.
right. But 100 cats in a van. The minute you open that door, there's no cats in the van, unless they're already dead.
And a part of the story that they would have, if it was a true story, they would have said a guy with a bunch of bandages on his arm grabbing cats off the street.
Yeah. And like, who is this guy? We want to identify him so we can follow up on the story. But has he filed a police report? Because filing a false police report is against the law. You don't want to do that. So but Jesus, they're going out of their way to try and prove this thing. And here, what I said to one guy was, you're going out of your way. You're putting all this time and energy to prove an absurd thing that your crazy uncle Shitstain said on television. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't put that much energy into creating an alibi for yourself if you got caught committing a crime. But it's this important for you to save the Messiah and make him look sane when he's fucking insane. Just
now,
exactly. Wait, I'm hungry.
The governor of Ohio, DeWine, said he now, he didn't ask Trump to stop the nonsense. He just said that he wants the people. He tried to correct the record with a little misdirect. He was asked because they're getting bomb threats at municipal buildings now, and he wants to stop that. You know, he wants to like nip it in the bud. But he's blaming the memes for this, and it's not the memes because not one bomb threat occurred when it was just a meme. The bomb threats didn't occur until Trump said it and Vance said it for the world to hear and repeat. You know?
I don't think they actually believe it. I think they are so desperate to try to sanitize Trump because he said this insane thing. Oh, whatever he says, we have to find evidence that it's true, even though we know it's not true, or create evidence that it looks true, because we can't have our Messiah looking like the insane fucking shitbag that he is.
If they spent as much energy fixing their party as they do trying to fix Trump, they'd have a decent party by now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the
Les, I gotta tell you guys this.
You created another video while we were talking.
Last night, my wife's playing pool, and there's this like table behind me. Like we're getting ready to leave, and there's like two couples sitting there, and it sounds like they're talking politics because it's like the woman is defending Harris, and the guy is like saying some stuff about Trump. But like I didn't hear that exactly. But what I did overhear, the guy says to her, like, I can't trust Harris because she doesn't have any morals or ethics. He said that out loud to another person.
Yeah, I know. I would have said based on what? Where do you get that information?
I wanted to laugh out loud, but like I said, I didn't hear exactly who they were talking about. But I really wanted to just get involved and just go over and put my hand on his shoulder and just laugh uncontrollably.
I had a troll.
Well, good for you, because it angers me. You laugh at it. For me, I just like, you know what, stupidity. And just not thinking for yourself, because this is something Sean Hannity told you. This is something Laura Ingraham told you. This is not something you thought about for yourself and came up with, because there's no basis for it. So the fact that kind of anger, people who are just turning off their brains and surrendering their brains to these fucking, I want to say, evil sons of bitches. Laura Ingraham is definitely evil in my view.
Oh, yeah.
She knows.
She's a Cancer.
Yeah, she knows that everything she's saying is a lie. She knows the positions are wrong. She knows the data that she's coming up is just fictitious. But being on the winning side and making sure that winning side is the Third Reich, the Fourth Reich, whatever we want to call that Reich, that's important to her. Listen, anybody who disowns their own family for being gay or whatever case, you can't talk to a brother because he's gay. That to me is an evil heart. Like you can be a homophobe, you cannot not support people's rights and all that stuff, but once a family member becomes dead to you because they are not living the life that you want them to live, that to me is just cold-hearted evil, man. I can't wrap my head around. Oh, you're gonna be gay, forget about it, you're dead in my eyes. That's fucked up, man. Your brother, somebody you know, at the end of your life, when it's time to have only a few people who understand the life that the person you were, your family is going to be there, and to just be that ugly and mean, don't get it.
It did make me mad, but I had to laugh because someone just said that out loud to another person and meant it. That's what was so funny about it. It's like, oh, your sincerity sort of makes this really sad event funny.
Yeah, I had a guy on TikTok said, in response to one of my memes, said, "Well, Harris is unintelligent and has no policies." And one other thing he said, and I said, first I wrote, "Thank you for commenting and watching and commenting," which is what I usually say first, and then I ripped him a new asshole. I said, unintelligent. I said, have you listened? Oh, and the other thing, he said, she can't complete a sentence. And I said, have you listened to Donald Trump at all in the past 9 years?
See, that's funny. Yeah. I don't know. It's so fucking mind-boggling how we could be here in the 21st century where people are just aligned and show their allegiance to the worst possible phony messiah you can imagine. Like, I always imagine when a false prophet showed up, it would be somebody like really smart, somebody really just like looking like they had it all together, not some fat, drumpy old fucking.
Thank you. I really don't want to be a false prophet, but thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
I understand.
I
was thinking somebody a little whiter.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this whole thing is an embarrassment for the devil. I mean, if you're the devil and this is your person, I was like, do better, man.
This is the first contract. This is the first contract that Satan has tried to get out of.
It's like, I can't win them all.
That's fucking beautiful. Yeah. So I mean, it's just to the point where it's driving me fucking insane. As if I weren't insane to begin with, it has driven me to a whole new level of. And it's not just Trump; it's all the fucking people that support him, follow him, amplify, and then embellish and go one step further than him. You know, it's where the fuck is this going to end? Hopefully in November it's going to end, but I could see a place where November 5th comes, the election day is over. Harris is a winner, and I think, well, that's it. Freddy Krueger is dead. And then the next day, Trump has a rally and talking about the electors in those states that have set up who are going to refuse to certify the election. He had that Mark Wayne, the guy from Oklahoma, the senator, who said he's not going to. Basically, he said he's not going to certify if she wins. He's not going to vote to certify. Like, when does this fucking cycle of insanity end? Because I don't think the election is going to solve it. I think they're going to try. If Harris wins, I think they're going to try another, insurrection type of deal, another way to cheat the system, and it's just going to keep going on and on and on.
I did not. I don't know this for a fact, but if I were let's say a person in the Harris cabinet, and I had Harris's ear, the first thing I do is get a tougher AG to replace Merrick Garland, someone who's no nonsense, someone who's a little more assertive, so they're not dragging their ass to protect the office of the presidency or whatever it is, or try to avoid it. Because everything he did to try to not look political, they interpret it as being political anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can do the best thing, the right thing, they're going to make it look like or sound like you're doing the wrong thing. So get somebody who's going in there and who's going to not drag it out, and just take it to them. Hammer those motherfuckers. Make them pay for the shit. Make them pay for it. Right now, they're not paying for anything. Everything's being delayed. It's like justice on layaway.
What do you think? Because you bring up Garland, and I am really intrigued by what the fuck this guy is really about. Because when he talks out, nobody's against the law and above the law, and then he doesn't. He seems to just not want to do anything. He's like so afraid. What do you make of him? Is he? Because he can't. You don't get to be a high level judge as he was, with being afraid and being intimidated by people. It's a fucking mystery.
But up until that point, he's never had to go after a former president.
Nobody has.
That's what I'm saying. So when most of your criminals or most of your cases are involving corporations, which aren't people, they're entities and stuff like that, you can kind of be more level-headed and more even-handed, I guess. But then you got somebody who's a former president who's been running for president for the past 8 years or 9. I don't know how long he's been running again, since 2020, right? That's when he lost. Well, he's been running again since 2016 when he ran, because he ran for re-election. Somebody's been campaigning that long. He's trying
who
to
who was the special prosecutor who got Nixon? It was Archibald Cox. Is that right?
For Nixon, wasn't that Earl? No.
I know John Mitchell was the AG, but he was corrupt too, and he was part of the. I don't remember, but yeah. So there's only been one other person who's really ever gone after a sitting president or a former president or any of that kind of stuff. So it is new ground, but still, he just seems like such a pussy. And I said at the time when they were choosing him, a sentimental choice, just because what's his name, the robot Mitch, blocked his appointment to the Supreme Court, doesn't mean he would make a good AG. You're picking this the same way they picked Hillary to run against Trump, as a sentimental choice, predetermining without putting any thought in. Well, she lost in 2008 to Obama, but now we got to make her the nominee in 2016. It's just like you don't just jump to that conclusion. You fucking still go back to the drawing board and say who's best for this.
In a way, I think you could probably blame Obama for that. I think Obama actually talked Biden into stepping down and waiting his turn. Like Biden had all this time to wait. Because if Hillary had won, she probably would have won re-election. So Biden would be running now.
And two, if Ginsburg actually would have retired when Obama asked her to.
Yeah. What a fucking clusterfuck that it turned out to be with this. Yeah, Archibald Cox. That's who it was. Archie Cox.
Yeah, even Ian was trying to let you know.
Hardy Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to check, but has there been? I know earlier this week they introduced the bill to close that loophole to make it, because the Supreme Court ruled that you can basically bribe people.
Right.
Yeah, so they finally introduced legislation to close that loophole. And that's like the only thing that's on that piece of legislation, to close the loophole. And it should be like easy up and down vote.
Oh, yeah. Well,
meanwhile,
the first one, even if it passes in the Senate, which it probably won't, because they're probably going to need 60, it's not going to even come up for a vote in the House.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the government's going to get shut down soon because
Yep.
they're not going to pass the continuing resolution, and we're going to run out of money, so nothing's going to happen. The thing that puzzles me, if the government is shut down, does election day still we never had the government
I think
shut down during
it still has to
election
go
day.
on because it's a constitutional thing. There's some
It's a
things that are in the
constitutional thing, but it has to be paid for, and if the government's not paying its bills.
But there will be there's some things that by law have to be continued. And so like even if it's like slimmed down, there's some things that just have to go on. So yeah, when they say the government is shut down, it's like a 7-Eleven, it's not 7-Eleven is never really closed, even for inventory.
Yeah, but when people don't get paid, people don't go to work. That's
but those people will get paid, but maybe not everybody. Like I said, it's
the 7-Eleven people. You're talking about but the people running the election now. That opens up a whole other can of worms because some of the poll workers are volunteers. I know because I'm planning on being my poll. I'm being a poll for that day. Poll worker. I don't know what they're going to have me do. Basically, just stand there and smile and say, "What's your name?" and pass them over to the next table. That thing.
Right.
But so some of those people don't work, but some of them are on the payroll, and if they're not getting paid, they don't show up. Or
but
if
they're not federal workers. Those are the elections. Even though there's federal law, each district is run locally. So they may have as taxpayer. That's regular state taxpayer dollars. I'm assuming. Like North Carolina is going to have to pay the hundreds of thousands of dollars to reprint their ballots because Kennedy won his case, even though he didn't ask to be taken off the ballot until the ballots were already printed.
Yeah. Fucking crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think the bottom line here is I don't think November 5th is going to be the end of any of this stuff. My ex works the poll. That's a foul mouth teacher. Not me saying that, by the way. I know it just came out of my mouth, but my ex did not work the poll. I just want to say that. Yeah, delicious can of worms. Well, if you're a Haitian, maybe that sounds like a side dish.
But you could use the worms as bait to get more geese too.
Right. Yeah. So, anyway, getting off of the pot, if we can. I mean, it always comes back to the fucking political shit here. I have a gig tonight, a new place. It's an acoustic duo thing. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be filled with red hats. And I'm like the only non-red hat person who's going to be in the place. And they know that. And there is some animosity. And people just want to start with me the minute they see me.
Well, what you do is you get a red hat, put it on backwards, when the hat says Kamala Harris 2024. But they just say that you're wearing a red hat, and you can just turn it around later on. No.
Well, I guess I could do that. I was thinking about merchandising a red hat with 4 letters on it as an acronym, but I didn't know I wanted it to be something really fucked up. But trying to be creative about it to the point where they would get it.
Well, you could do MAGA, make attorneys get attorneys, making attorneys get attorneys. That's one of the popular ones.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I have this gig. It's a duo gig, acoustic duo gig. Me and Mikey. Mikey's a trumper, by the way. He doesn't want to admit that in public, but because he's afraid to stand up for what he believes in. But he is a MAGA guy and a Trump cultist. So it's an acoustic duo with him. I've been wanting to do more acoustic solo work because I love the freedom of being able to do whatever the fuck I want to do and not have to worry about what does this guy know, what does this girl know, I'll just be able to do my thing. And I got offered, the thing is, this is happening a lot now. I booked this gig in the meantime, I got offered 4 solo gigs at better places. I shouldn't say better places because this is a new place and it might be a good place, but at prestigious places, got offered, and I got to turn them down. And that's the most, it always happens. Whenever I book a lot of gigs, all of a sudden I start getting more calls for those same dates. I wish I could clone myself and say, here, you go to that one, you go to that one.
Well, what you do is, see, you are not utilizing your talent. When you get double booked, okay, send me and Ron as the duo in. I'll take my acoustic guitar. Since you like acoustic guitars, I'll bring my acoustic guitar, and Ron, and I can do the duets to replace you and whoever.
So you guys want to go out to Billy's on the Bay in Greenport, New York? It's right across from where Justin Timberlake's going to be settling his DWI case. For me or you, it's not settling; it's pleading guilty. For if you're a celebrity, it's settling his case. It's right across right across the water from where he's going to be in court today, but. Here's the deal. It's to the end of Long Island. Basically, you're like waving to England at this point. That's how far out you are. From here, where I am, which is the east end of Long Island, it's an hour and 20-minute drive. From where you are, 5 hours. So, for two guys to split.
Yeah,
solo
if we split
money.
it, it's only 2.5 hours each.
Okay. Driving time, but it's still 5-hour total drive. Well, I don't know. You guys aren't even that close together, are you? You're like an hour apart.
No, we're pretty close. We're like buddies. We're like this. I mean, I'm his 4th favorite black person, but
I don't know. He seems to have a lot of favorite black people.
Well, a lot of them are tied for first. Well, second, I mean, because his first favorite is the guy behind him. That's his first favorite, Ace Coon buddy. But his
yeah. Let me try and pass that on to him.
That's his HNIC, head in comedy. That's his HNIC, and then he's got a bunch of guys tied for second and third. But right after those, I'm like 4th. Right after those people.
Yeah, so that would be good because I was just thinking about what you said. I should send you guys because last night there was an opportunity for a real venue. When I say a real venue, I mean I don't want to say what it is, but it's like a national headliner stadium, and they applying for the thing. They said one of the questions are the people in the video going to be the band that shows up? I guess what happens is people use subs too many times, but I could just see me booking something as Matt Napo, and then G.D. Fenderson shows up, and they'd be like, "He didn't look like that in the video."
I was in the video. I was standing behind Matt. Just when the camera took the picture, I bent over to pick up something, and it's like, "You missed me again? Damn it!"
Yeah,
I'm like the bass player from the Rolling Stones. I get no respect.
The bass player from the Rolling Stones. I don't know who that is at this point.
It's the black guy.
I thought it was well, if it's Shyla Deal, he's a Long Island guy. He was subbing with them for a while. I think
20 years.
Bill Wyman.
So long that he could have been in any other band. He'd have been a member. He's been there so long.
I don't know if he's still doing that, or if they sub the they have a package full of black guys they sub. I don't know if it's Shyla. Shyla's a fucking killer bass player.
He is.
I mean, he's fucking amazing.
And like the drummer for Phil Collins, he's been backing up Phil Collins for like 40 years, and he's not a member of the band. Chester Aikens or something, or Chester.
Something. I can't remember Chester's last name.
I thought it was Oh, okay. Atkins. No,
I think it's
Chester Cheetah. Chester Cheetah.
Let me look it up. Anyway, whatever the fuck.
Another one who's been performing so long that he could actually be a member of the band, but he's just a substitute.
Yeah. Somebody, I did a Phil Collins reel that gets a lot of traction, but somebody left a really, really just mean tweet about. Phil Collins has got some medical issue. He's all like, I don't want to say he's on his deathbed, but he looks like he's dying. And somebody just left this really mean tweet, like, and I did not respond to it, but I was, why would you waste a minute of your time, a minute of your life looking at this reel and feel like now I need to invest more time to make myself better by saying mean things about a guy who's dying? Why not just move on and say, that's a minute of my life I could never get back? And like, what would, if you hate him that much, why would you even watch it in the first place? It's like there are people on the internet who are just looking for things to react negatively to, and I don't get any of that. So, yeah. And another one I did, Tears for Fears last night, because I'm like at the bottom of the fucking barrel trying to figure band names that will get a lot of traction in reels.
Have you tried Crack the Sky? Have you tried Crack the Sky?
I'm now. I have pledged to the gods of rock and roll that I will never go down the Crack the Sky.
I made another video yesterday with it. It's an excerpt from Ellen's new Netflix special coming out.
Oh, wait! I thought she was done.
No,
well, yeah, she's got one special coming on Netflix.
Wow. All right, so let's see what we got.
I just left a Starbucks and kicked a homeless guy. It made me feel alive again, like when I would throw hot coffee in the face of interns. I had one intern who unalived himself because he was too much of a wimp to kill himself like a man. People said I was mean on my show. I just had demands like sitting on my producer's face and just relieving all those coffees I drank. If they complained, I would go to their house and shit on the floor to assert my dominance.
First of all that stuff is just too believable to be comedy. I would look how white I got. Ellen made me white. Get me black again. There I am. I'm nice and black. Wow. Yes, I did not know she had a special from her concert tour that she was doing, but she's done after that. Is she done after? Is she going to leave the planet after that?
No, she's got her face care products that she's promoting, so she's never leaving.
This is a shame. It's a terrible shame.
Even during the show, while the show's going on, Ron is right now creating more videos. He can't stop himself.
I got to get my money's worth out of that app.
Yeah. No, I totally appreciate that, because I about 6 months ago I downloaded an app. It was the AI stuff, probably even more than 6 months ago now, and I used it a couple of times, and then I noticed they billed me for the whole fucking year. I got a year. I thought I was just paying by the week. They billed the whole year, and they already took the money. I wasn't getting that money back even if I canceled at that point. So then I was spending all day fucking trying to use that app. I think I was doing like 30 fucking videos a day using that app. If I paid for a fucking year, I'm gonna fucking burn the shit out of this. But then now I can't even get it to work with my camera on my iPhone. You got to take a video, put it up to social media, and then have it pull it off social media. You can't go directly into it. Like, they fucked me. They knew I was trying to get my money's worth out of this fucking thing, and they figured it a way to fuck me. I don't know if it's an Apple thing or maybe they want me to have a Windows, an Android phone or whatever. But
it almost sounds like it's something a doctor is like, what can we do to get Matt to have a stroke so that we can put him on medication? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like an end around.
I think that would be pretty easy to do. I'm not going to give away the secret to making me have a stroke, because I know so many people would love to do that. But I don't think it's a difficult thing. The combination is pretty much on the internet.
I know. I understand. I think I empathize with what you're saying. When my brother, before he died, when he was in a hospital with really high blood pressure and really high, it was blood sugar and blood pressure so high he was in the hospital, and we went to go visit, and the doctor said to me, "Don't say anything that will upset your brother. It could kill him." and when I walked in there, I looked at my brother and I said, "I must love you," because I could have offed him. I know so many things.
I would have been like, "Hey, bro, I just got in from fucking your wife."
I could have said, Ralph, Dad used to like fuck men in the ass, right? And my brother would have lost it. He would be like,
Also, I don't know if you knew this, but he left us a lot of money, and I took it all.
Yeah. Dad died. He left all of his money to his gay lover.
I'm not buying what Google is telling me. They're telling me it's Chester Thompson. I don't think Thompson is it. But
doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right. I thought it was, but yeah, according to lots of different things, the drummer for Phil Collins is Chester Thompson. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm mad at Google. Google, you lying fuck. Google gave me a stroke. Did you see that? Anyway, you guys, before Leanne comes in today, are you guys performing this weekend? Are you?
I'm just writing and rehearsing.
Are you, because Friday the 13th, you were afraid it was just gonna be a jinx, and you're superstitious and you're afraid? No.
I didn't even realize. Go ahead, Ron.
Occasionally, it's good to have a weekend off, so my wife won't kill me.
Yeah, and I'm just busy writing and rehearsing and working on technical stuff. So I didn't even know that today was Friday the 13th.
Oh, well,
I didn't make the connection.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew today was Friday, but I didn't, and I think I knew it was the 13th, but I didn't realize, I didn't put the two together. That it was Friday the 13th. Like,
yes. I don't know. I've never been a superstitious kind of person and all that kind of stuff. But Friday the 13th, it always gives you a marketing angle. You could do the Jason stuff or whatever. The movie, blah 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 blah. Black cats. Why aren't the Haitians eating the black cats? That's what I want to know. For Friday the 13th, it's Friday the 13th. They should celebrate by eating nothing but black cats.
Hopefully, this is the moment in history when we'll be able to look back on and say it was him saying dogs and cats were being eaten that decided the election.
Nope.
Yeah, no. The Trump people, it's so bizarre. The people who are, quote, on the fence are still saying, like, I don't know, Trump is crazy, but I still need to hear more from Kamala. What is her opinion about dogs and cats being eaten by Haitians? Is she going to stand up for the Haitians, or is she going to stand up for the dogs and cats? I want to know her position.
They're more upset that her reaction when he said that was like, "Oh, fucking that is gonna," than him actually saying that. That's what they were paying. Oh, look at her face. How dare she make that face and make him look like he's crazy? It wasn't that he said something batshit crazy. It's that how dare she make that face and react to him saying batshit crazy stuff. Like,
and they asked what's it, that black congressman from Florida, his pet toy, the one who thought he was going to be like a vice presidential candidate.
Donald something. Donald.
Yeah,
Brian Donalds or Byron Donalds or something like that.
Right.
Be done.
They asked him in the green room after the debate about Trump's. He says, "What do you think of the cats and the dogs being eaten in Springfield?" And he was like, he lost his shit a little bit.
Yeah, he did. A lot of them are having temper tantrums. Yeah, a lot of them are having temper tantrums at reporters just for asking basic questions. Stephen, I like they call Stephen Miller now. His new nickname is Pee Wee German. But he lost it on a Venezuelan reporter who was trying to say, because Stephen Miller was saying all these Venezuelan gangs are coming to America and raping women, and they're all over the place committing horrendous crimes. And he's like, the numbers of people coming from Venezuela. He said, do you trust Maduro's numbers? Because I'm from Venezuela and I know what a crook Maduro. And Stephen Miller was losing. I thought he was going to punch the guy. He was like screaming, the fucking vein in his Hitler head popping out. And a lot of them are doing that now. They're losing their shit when confronted with just basic facts of basic reality. I mean, it's hard to escape.
They're afraid that they're going to lose their positions of influence with Trump to Laura Loomer. Is that her name, Laura Loomer?
Yeah, well, that's where I wanted to go. Now, thank you for reading my little brain, my little tiny little brain, because they think the rumor is, I don't know, because Marge and Loomer are calling each other racist, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
She doesn't represent MAGA. She's too racist. The lady who came up with Jewish space lasers is calling the lady who comes up with all the other racist stuff. They are arguing over who's more racist.
That would be like Hitler. That would be like Hitler, Mussolini, and Ito arguing over who's a bigger tyrant.
Yeah, and Stalin. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I killed 2 million of my people. Yeah, I killed 6 million. But so they're saying Trump is. I don't know if you've seen Laura Loomer.
I just saw a picture of her the other day.
Yeah, we lost Ron. Ron got scared of the idea of fucking. She is as it would be like fucking me. I mean, I'm as an attractive woman as Loomer is.
I don't really know. I know she has dark hair, but most of the pictures I see of her, like she's down with her phone, or they got the picture. Yeah.
I gotta get a picture of her. She, I mean, I'm not kidding when I say she's as ugly as me.
I didn't notice the mustache. Does she have a mustache?
Might as well. A mustache might improve things for her. Can't find her. Yeah, she's always looking down. Wonder why she's always looking down.
Yeah, because that's what all of the good juicy rumors are. All the good conspiracies are down on her phone. That's why she's. So every picture I've seen of her is either she's looking, it's her back to the camera, or she's looking down at her phone.
Let me well, now she's looking straight up. I got this picture. Let's share this. Share screen.
Is she standing behind Trump and looking straight up?
Nope. She's looking. She's looking straight on at the camera.
Almost looks like an AI generated image.
Now she almost does look AI. That's who she is. She looks like her face is like here, let me see if there's a better picture. Oh, here, this is a better picture. Let's see here. What was that boop? Was that Ron being boopy?
That's Ron popping in. Yes, Ron.
We'll pop him back in. Let me change this screen here. Oh, look, Ron's taking my place. What? He just did that to take my place, didn't he?
As a matter of fact, that's what he didn't mute his mic, and I heard him saying that.
No, that's an awful lot of fake makeup and stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's a very ugly woman, but oh no, I just killed our Instagram feed. What a dick I am. Let's get rid of me.
And yeah,
let's
you can't get
me.
It back, can you? You can't get it back, can you? You have to wait till tomorrow. Oh.
No, I can get it.
Some of these, once you end it, you have to wait till the next cycle or something.
I think I can get it back. Let me see. Live video. Oh yeah, we're still there. Okay. I didn't kill it.
Okay, you gonna do the news or no?
Yeah. Oh, is it time to do the news already?
It's 10:03.
That was a fucking fast hour. I got to tell you, the hours are going by faster and faster, and my death is coming.
When you don't have Steven dragging things, it seems to go much better. No.
Justin Timberlake has reached an agreement to settle his driving while intoxicated case in the Hamptons, sources close to the matter have said.
The pop star is expected to appear in Sag Harbor Village Court on Friday to plead guilty and pay a fine resolving the misdemeanor charges, sources reported. His attorney declined to comment on the case. Timberlake was pulled over in June after leaving the American Hotel for running a stop sign and swerving into oncoming traffic. Jessica Oakley reporting.
In the densely packed Al-Mawasi camp for displaced Palestinians, most residents were asleep when Israeli bombs hit in the early hours of Tuesday.
Homes, belongings, and entire families were destroyed in the expansive refugee camp, which Israel's military has labeled a humanitarian zone along Gaza's Mediterranean coast. People flew, Ayad Mahdi, one of the thousands crowded into the camp west of Khan Yunis, told reporters. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Consumer prices climbed by 2.5% in August compared to the same time last year, decelerating more than expected and offering positive news for the Federal Reserve just days ahead of an anticipated interest rate reduction.
Inflation slowed sharply from the 2.9% year-over-year rate recorded in the prior month. Price increases have eased from their peak in 2022, but inflation remains above the Federal Reserve's 2% target. The likelihood of an interest rate cut at next week's Fed meeting is now seen as virtually certain. Kyle Norris reporting.
Opening statements have commenced in the federal trial of 3 former Memphis police officers charged in relation to the January 2023 fatal beating of Tyre Nichols.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Elizabeth Rogers laid out the prosecution's case, informing the jury of the evidence they will review and cautioning them that they will witness horrifying body camera footage and audio throughout the trial, according to WADIN TV in Memphis reporting from the courtroom. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Hold on a second. We can't hear. We can't hear. This music is too loud. I think Al's done. It's Al done.
False claims circulated on social media following Tuesday's presidential debate, alleging that Vice President Harris wore clip-on audio headphones disguised as pearl earrings.
Prominent accounts on X and other platforms, including far-right activist and conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer, suggested that Harris's earrings were Nova H1 audio earphones designed to resemble pearls. Loomer's post had amassed more than 1.3 million views by Wednesday morning. David Lang reporting.
An explosion at the Kansas State Fair that injured 6 people was caused by a canned food item that overheated when stored too close to a food warmer, according to investigators.
The blast occurred at a concession stand called the Fry Shack. Authorities reported that 2 people were hospitalized with cuts, but later discharged. 4 others were injured, but did not require medical treatment. The 10-day state fair, which concludes on Sunday, draws approximately 350,000 visitors each year. Paul Gomez reporting.
U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson pulled the GOP government funding bill from a scheduled vote after opposition from several Republican lawmakers forced him to delay the process.
We are going to continue to work on this, Johnson said. The whip will do the hard work to build consensus and keep working through the weekend. Nearly a dozen House Republicans have stated they intend to vote against the government funding proposal. The GOP measure includes the SAVE Act, which mandates proof of citizenship for voting. Jim Kender reporting.
A Philadelphia police officer has succumbed to his injuries nearly 3 months after being shot in the neck during a traffic stop, city officials announced.
Officer Jamie Roman, 31, passed away Tuesday night after spending 80 days in intensive care without regaining consciousness. Roman leaves behind a wife, a 7-year-old daughter, and a 4-year-old son. He had served with the police department for nearly 7 years. Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel stated that murder charges will be brought against Rodriguez Vasquez. Kevin Sanders reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Take him off the stage. Damn. It's just... it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Didn't I prove I am an American citizen when I registered to vote?
And
right?
Probably when you got your license, maybe, because you had to get your birth certificate.
Right. So, and that's where you register to vote. Yeah. And they ask you who you are and your residence when you go to the polls. So you can't vote twice. And you have only one polling place assigned to you. So what are they going to do? Like they're going to slow down the process and say, everybody, like, get your documentation out now at the polling place again after you've already done that? I mean, how is that going to be? If you could have faked it at registration, if you were not a citizen and you provided false documentation to get registered, what would stop you from doing that if they they ask you again at the polling place. It doesn't make any sense to me. If
well, you know what doesn't make what doesn't make sense. Like me and my wife were talking yesterday. Like if you had a friend like Donald Trump, who everything that he does, when he fails at it, he's got to make an excuse, or he's got all those felony charges against him. If you had a friend like that in your life, you would fucking stop defending his ass, and you would have dropped him as a friend a long time ago instead of like being bowing to him. It's laughable. It's so laughable.
Well, I don't think I would have. But here's the deal with me. I would have acknowledged the crime, and then try to because I've had friends. This might not come as a surprise to people, but I had friends that have been criminals, have been guilty, have been caught, and I didn't defriend them, didn't cut them out of my life, but I urged them to take responsibility for it and not to try to deny it or continue to be a phony about it, and just say and learn from it.
Yeah,
that's
probably
the
same thing. I had the same thing. I did the same thing, and I also did not cover for them or bend over backwards to
yeah, exactly.
But even
I've had friends and family, same thing. I won't bend over backwards to protect you.
I mean, I mean, someone getting arrested and something happened. Yeah, I mean, you could, but if you just even had a friend that was in your life that every time he went out, he's like, oh, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great. And he just fucking embarrasses himself every time. You'd have to pull him aside and be like, what's going on here, man?
Jon Stewart had a beautiful take on it the other night where he was talking about Trump always needing to throw somebody under the bus. He can never accept responsibility for anything that goes wrong. There's always an excuse and there's always a fall guy. And for the cult not to realize that if he could throw all his closest people under the bus to save his own reputation, what makes you think he won't do it to you or anybody? I mean, it should be apparent why it's not. I don't have
why he has no friends and family supporting him. It's only suck-ups and sycophants. I mean, you got people, when you have people like Dick Cheney, I'm sorry, the liberal,
that liberal fuck.
Yeah, that liberal fuck Dick Cheney coming out of the woodwork, fighting the grave to support Kamala Harris. But you can't even get Donald Trump's own wife to show up to support him at events. No, there's something wrong with that picture.
Yeah, and she's got a memoir out. I don't know if I don't want anybody to buy it. I'm just saying.
What's it called? It's called Book Be Best. The Be Best book. Oh,
I don't know what it's called, to be honest with you. I don't want to promote it in any way, but she seems to be. This is kind of because she doesn't speak English. She basically they taught. Oh, she speaks 5 languages fluently. I don't think she speaks a single language fluently. But so her English is not, because there was audio clips of it. But it seems like she was saying that, admitting, and that we all know, well, the sane people all know, that Donald Trump knew he lost the election and just could not bear to admit it in public, which is what the big lie was about. She seems to be saying that in her little audio stuff, but her English is so hard to I need closed captions to kind of listen to it. But everybody else who's listened to it and can make out what the fuck she's saying, I said, yeah, did you hear? She just admitted that Trump told her he knew he lost the election, which, you know what, when he said with sarcasm in the debate that he said he lost by a whisker. You know who didn't take it as sarcasm? Not just the ABC moderator there. This is why I played that Nick Fuentes thing. The Stop the Steal campaign, the Roger Stones, the Nick Fuentes, everybody, all his most loyal people said, "What the fuck are you doing admitting to the fact?" They didn't take it as sarcasm. They took it as literal admission of I lost by a whisker. And what the fuck are you saying now? So for him to say it was sarcasm, and listen, this is what he's always done whenever he gets called on something. It was just a joke. It was that's his fallback position. But You don't have to be a Harris supporter to say that wasn't sarcasm. His own most loyal sycophants didn't take it as, and that's, Nick Fuente saying, "What is this all about? They froze my bank accounts off a lie. I guess the DOJ is right." He didn't think it was sarcasm. Nobody thought it was sarcasm because it wasn't sarcasm. It was fucking a moment of I forgot my lie. That's the problem with being a fucking compulsive liar. You have to have a really good memory.
Yeah.
You have to remember the lies all the time. You have to always be on your game because you will.
And you have
slip
to
up.
care. You have to care about being caught too, because that's what a good liar uses part of the truth, and they also keep track of their stories, and they also don't want to get caught.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't care if he gets caught because you just make a bigger lie to cover that.
Fucking exhausting. It's exhausting. I tell you, exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting
It's
ready
enough to make you oil your mustache. It's enough to make you oil your mustache.
Well, if in case you are just tuning in now and haven't been listening all week long, they did prove me wrong yesterday about the existence of mustache oil. But I will say, sticking to my guns, I have never oiled my mustache. I have dyed it, but it's not like a daily thing. It's like a once a month thing or once every 2 months thing. There's mustache dye. I've never put oil in my mustache, and that would fucking bother me to have a greasy. It would shine then. It would be like, who would do that? Who would do such a thing?
It's supposed to soften it. So my understanding is, because I don't use it either, but my wife probably wants me to. But it softens it. I don't use it.
Yeah, I don't know, but so I was wrong about that. I've been wrong about a lot of things, and I admit it when I'm wrong. There is such a thing as mustache oil, beard oil, facial hair oil. Comes in many different packages. We should get a sponsor as
castor
sponsorship
oil.
as one. Yeah. Where's your friend Leanne? She's not showing up.
She'll be here, I guess.
No, I don't get mustache dandruff. The question comes from Ian. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Flakes, but no, your lip doesn't flake. I don't know, like your scalp does, right?
No, but you could get like psoriasis or something like that, or
all right.
Or stress.
You guys, having trouble connecting to StreamYard. I'm not recognizing my camera, Mike. We'll restart my computer and try again. Okay. Let me see. You know what? I had a problem earlier this week where I sent somebody the wrong link. I know I sent her the right link. That's not what she's talking about, but I'm going to resend anyway. You guys talk among yourselves for a second while I do this.
Okay.
Keep the people entertained.
So, Ron, how's the sales tickets going? How the sales tickets? How the ticket sales going for the shows behind you?
Well, for this one, it's at the Ake Gallery. So, like, when Paul sent me the link for this show, he's like, "Here's the link," but it's not like people buy tickets in fucking advance anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, I expect we'll probably move a couple of days before the show, maybe. But he's selling tickets in Rochester. We're moving some tickets in Rochester, so happy about that. But I mean, that's the big fringe festival, so hopefully it's easier to fill that place. But we'll see.
Is that Rochester, New York? Or is there another Rochester? I don't know about.
Yes, there's Rochester, Minnesota, but there's only one real Rochester. Rochester.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
I worked in the city of Rochester like 20 years ago, I think, for a week.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to Cortland, New York.
I spent Rochester, New York is the home of Kodak. It's the home of Kodak film, and where that kind of photography was first developed in the United States. I spent 3 days in a nut house in Rochester, New York. Basically, what happened was I went through a breakup with a girl, and I was not sleeping. And I went to doctor to get some sleeping pills. I emptied the sleeping pills into a cup, took a couple of them. I don't know why I did it. You get those prescription bottles, these things. And instead of leaving it in here, I put it in a cup in my bedside, and I took 2 of them, and I fell asleep, and I was unconscious, and with an empty bottle of brand new bottle of sleeping pills on my chest. My roommate came in and said, "Oh my God, he overdosed. He ate the whole bottle." And before I knew it, I'm waking up to paramedics like fucking beating me up and trying to figure out, oh my God, he tried to kill himself. Like, I didn't try to kill myself. I took
The
2
pills
pills
are over there.
Right. So I ended up having my stomach pumped. It was an empty stomach, by the way, which made it really excruciating. And then finally they said, they brought in the psych, said, "You tried to kill yourself." I said, "No, I took 2 sleeping pills." They did not believe me. And they said, "Well, we're going to give you a choice. You can either voluntarily be, put in a mental hospital for a 3-day watch, or we'll mandate it." Like, well, that's not a choice. I'm going, basically, with what you're saying. I don't have a choice. And so I spent 3 days in Strong Memorial Psychiatric Hospital in Leanne's here, and I want to get her in.
Why didn't you just show them the pills that were in the cup?
I wasn't there anymore. I was in the hospital. They dragged me out of the room, and before I knew it, I was in a hospital room getting my stomach pumped. I didn't have any, time in that. They just fucking drag you out. Anyway, they put me in this friggin' nut house. And I'm in a room, and my roommate is a 11-year-old kid named Rudy. Rudy is in there for raping. He was a serial rapist at 11 years old. And he saw me, and he goes, "They got you in here. They made you stay here. We can break out." And I'm listening to an 11-year-old kid now. I'm on the 19th floor, way up high in this building, and he goes, "These windows can be broken. I can't break it, but you can. You're big and strong. You can break this window." I said, "No, those windows."
You're his chief from Cuckoo's Nest.
Exactly.
You're his chief from Cuckoo's Nest.
Honestly, hold on. Here's the kicker. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was on the screen as this was happening. It was on the television. It was on CBS. And we were watching it as I'm having this conversation with this kid. So I tell him, "I'll prove to you, you can't break this window." And I hit the window with a chair, and the window broke. And he was jumping up and down. He goes, "Oh, great! Now he's tying sheets together, and we're going to escape." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm already in here for 3 days. Things are bad enough. I was just trying to prove the window didn't break." And there was this, the nurse was Nurse Mangione, Chuck Mangione, the trumpet player. His sister was the head nurse on the floor. And one of the guys who was one of the nuts on one of the real nuts on the floor, I said, "Nurse Mangione, Matt and Rudy are going to escape. They broke the window and they're tying sheets together. They're going to escape." And I said, "What the hell? Who told you that?" He said, "God." I was like, "Oh, shit. We have to I'll finish this story another time." It was just bringing back memories of Rochester, which is part of the reason I'm not going to see Ron and Josh in next weekend in Rochester. Anyway, Leanne Linsky is a masochist. You know how I know she's a masochist? Because she was a comedian, which is brutal to begin with. And then she turned entrepreneur comedian, and she's the founder of plausible.com, which it's got to be a really a painful thing to try to administer, because in these times, being a comedian is difficult enough. Being an online comedian is even more difficult. But she's brave and she loves pain, and that's why she's doing it. She's here now. Good morning, Leanne.
And this is her second trip to the show.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to start off by saying thank you for taking an interest in GD and supporting him. Most people don't, especially when they find out about his criminal record and the things. So thank, and also he kills your CEO, your SEO, CEO. You are the CEO, the SEO of the site just by having his name in the metadata there. The search engines flag that, and they say this could be potentially dangerous site. But thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. And I think that was the best intro I've ever had.
Oh, see, you are a masochist.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't even realize till now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I'm always here. Listen, I've been in a nut house. I know how to recognize certain.
Right?
Yeah.
You spot it, you got it.
I'm on I signed up for Plausible. I don't know how to use it. I'm an old. I really haven't investigated that much. I'm not a stand-up comic, but I thought, you know what? I signed up as a comedian. I don't know if there's a place for me on the site for people who missed the last episode when I was not here, regretfully. Please explain exactly what Plausible is and how it works.
Sure. So Plausible is an online comedy platform for live comedy in real time. It's not video on demand, like more like a YouTuber, where people pre-record things. This happens in real time. And so if you think of a marketplace like Etsy, where you have your creators of goods and then your buyers of goods, on Plausible, we have creators of comedy and then we have comedy fans. So people can create a free fan account and go in and look at all of the shows and register for any of the shows they want to see. They can go through the comedian directory and see who's there and learn all about the comedians on their pages. Comedians can sign in, and with a comedian account, they get their scheduling tools, their virtual stages, and ticketing services. And they can create comedy whenever, however they want, and either do free events or charge for it, and they earn the majority of the revenue.
Well, that sounds great. Now, do you have a technology background at all? Because as a comedian, GD was trying to explain what makes it unique as far as audience. You can hear the audience interaction. Obviously, that was a thought that you had and you wanted to create that, but to create that seamlessly without getting feedback and all that stuff, I would think it's not an easy technological endeavor to take on. So how did you do it? I
hired a really good team of people. So I spent years before COVID. Actually, it was when I moved from New York to LA, and I suddenly found myself in traffic more than any stage. And I was like, what am I doing? Why did I move here? And how do I get more stage time? And also, in doing that, I was like, if I bring people online, now mind you, this is before COVID, I was already having these thoughts, then how do I go about solving some of these other problems, like earning, like what are the other incentives to do something like this? So I started researching and talking to people. I talked to I just continued to dip into my comedian network, talk to people like, what's your pain points? And then on the fan side, I did the same thing and talked to people who watch comedy online already, and then people who didn't. And I interviewed tons of people, did a lot of surveying. I went back to school and got my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship, so I could get in touch with people who would know how to build this stuff. And so once I graduated, I started hiring developers, and I had mapped out exactly my vision, and then we started building.
Wow. Well, yeah, that again, congratulations on your energy and commitment to following through on the idea that you have, because a big part, I don't know if people understand this, a big part of life is follow through, and everybody, lots of people have really good ideas, but the follow through is key, and putting in that kind of time and energy, you have to really believe in your dream or your vision, and really just get committed to it, and not because there are so many things that can knock you down and try to knock that ambition or drive out of you. Congratulations on that. But here's the thing. A comedian who is a national headliner touring, I follow him on Twitter. Last week he asked, what the hell is the secret to putting fannies in the seats promotion wise? He said, basically, I do everything I can. I follow everybody's advice. It's still a struggle, even though he's a national headliner. And I'm thinking that doesn't change just because you put it online. The marketing part and how do you get people to come doesn't change just because it's virtual as opposed to physical in this sense. So how does Plausible address that really big challenge of just getting people not just to say they're interested, but actually, and sometimes they buy tickets to a physical show and don't use them. They don't, and that doesn't really help. I mean, $15, but
so true, right? It's like that's a great question, and kind of like if there were ever a book to put out on like how to get people into seats at your show, that would be a bestseller. So a couple of things come to mind is with physical venues, obviously you're limited to people in that geographic region, and who's willing to drive that distance, who's out maybe a little bit outside to get there. And right now, with so many comedians on social media, what I'm seeing is this big thing where everybody's showing clips of their sets, and clips of their work. And unlike music, where I can listen to the same song a zillion times and still want to hear it even decades later, jokes are not necessarily the same, right? Like, how many times do you want to hear someone's joke? And then, because a lot of times people, and not every comedian writes that fast. So I think sometimes people are like, well, I'm already getting it for free versus why I can just scroll through
milking a cow.
Right. That's so true. So my thought when creating this online thing is, how do you get people there is, well, if people are already on an internet connected device, like a phone, a tablet, or a PC, the conversion should be much easier to get them online on your show with a few clicks rather than to get off your device, go get your pants on and go get in a car and drive somewhere. Should be easier to do. Right. So it's a matter of how you promote the online show and make it accessible. So with Plausible, I'm continually trying to find ways to make it easier for comedians to promote and making more shareable. Like, we just launched our shareable links and things like that they can do.
We're just playing Brady Bunch windows here.
I see that. Welcome back.
It's Brady Bunch. Oh no, that's a different show. Welcome back. That was
Mr. Cotta.
Yeah. I'm going to disagree with you just slightly on one point you made.
Yep.
Because when I first started getting into producing internet content for comedians, we talked about this. It was Chris Monty and Rich Walker, and we talked about, because Chris's father is an old Frank Sinatra fan. He used to say they want to hear the hits, and I'm not certain that in comedy jokes are more disposable, or comedy content is more disposable than music. I think there are certain people, like when I went to see Rodney Dangerfield, I saw him at least 6 times. He did the same material each time, and it didn't turn me off. I knew the jokes were coming; they were still just as funny. I don't know, but I don't think necessarily what you said is that basically you can't repeat the same material. People don't want to hear stuff they've already heard, because we hear hecklers in the audience saying, "Do the shoe bit."
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. That's for Rodney Dangerfield. Like, these are at high caliber pro levels.
Right.
Do you want to hear new people doing the same bits that didn't quite work the first time?
If it didn't quite work,
right. There's a lot of people that aren't at that. Of course, as you get higher and higher, then you're more likely to like that. But there's more people at the intermediate and newer levels that you may not like. Be like, I can wait 5 years before I can see them again, or
no,
and that's not to be mean, but truthfully, like, a lot of times if you go to a club, there's one headline. I mean, in any show, there's one headliner, but there's a bunch of people typically before them in a club. So all of those people, so that's kind of like where Plausible really thrives is like newer and up and coming people that maybe you haven't seen before or regularly.
No, I
And
get it. There's
yeah.
no like. I think we can both be right and both be kind
Yeah.
of wrong on this. I mean, there's no like a hard rule on this thing. I just think there are some instances where even comedians who are not necessarily on. If I've heard their material, sometimes hearing it live, it's even more. Even though I know the joke, I know where it's going, I still enjoy it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. And yeah, we agree and disagree. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no hard number as to who that is or what that is, but yeah.
Yeah. GD talked about something that I think has great promise, but here's the because I've done this in music. We've done live streams from a live venue where I think that's the best of both worlds. You have a gig, you got real people, a real audience that is providing all the energy and feedback that you need to make it a really dynamic performance. And you have the online. The problem with most venues don't want to do that because they think, well, people will just stay home and watch it. They're not going to come out to the venue. I think there needs to be a way to say geographically, we're going to limit this. So if you're on Long Island, you're not going to be able to stream my show at a local venue, but around the country, fans will be able to do it. Have you looked into, or does that make any sense to you? Do you agree with that kind of premise?
That's interesting. Honestly, I hadn't really considered that because there's other people that so a topic that's come up a lot is a lot of clubs aren't ADA accessible. So there's a number of people who don't particularly go to these clubs because they don't have access to them, even maybe they live close. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of comedians have talked about that, and other people with other health concerns like autoimmune issues and things. So they also, I know I say this because those are a lot of people who come to Plausible. So they wouldn't go to your club anyway if they were in the same city.
Yeah.
Not that that's a huge number. So right now, is that a possibility to do? Probably. Is that a concern at the moment? No, because I don't see anybody having such astronomical numbers that it's a problem. But I could
Yeah.
see where you question that, like as a club. But the other thing is like if a club came on and used Plausible, they could still charge ticket prices. Unlike if they stream it to YouTube or another service, where they're just streaming in general. But if they came on Plausible and charged their ticket prices, or maybe at a lower price than they would in person, then they can still get butts in the seats that they wouldn't otherwise have in their club.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about it. 'Cause here, the phenomenon of putting specials. First of all, a special is costly. To put together a professional special costs some money. You have to invest in it, and then to put it on YouTube, especially if you're not monetized, but even if you are monetized, and hope that you're going to make your money back at $6 every million views or whatever.
Yeah. And you can sell one ticket for $6 and make money. You
Yeah.
don't have to have a minimum. You just have to have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On
What is the price point generally for like a comedy show on Plausible? Is it $10? Is it $5? Is it 15? What are we talking?
Minimum that a comedian can charge is $5.
And they get what, 4 of that, or what?
They get 60%. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, have anybody like gone too expensive and paid the price and had nobody show up because they've offset ticket prices at $25 or $30 or something for an online show?
Actually, our $25 a ticket show is one of the better selling shows we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't. That doesn't surprise me. Somebody once told me, if you want to sell more, raise your prices.
Yeah.
It sends a message to people that this is something of quality. It's worth more because they're charging more. Ron's shaking his head no, but it maybe in your experience it's not true. But I guarantee you, talk enough salespeople selling high-end products, they will always say that is a truth.
It is true, and it is both true and false,
Yeah.
and for the two
Yes.
different reasons.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's-
agree with GD.
Yeah, that's why I was shaking my head, because I see some comedy shows locally, and you see the comics that are on there, and they're asking like $30 a ticket, and it's like that is no way near $30. Maybe 5 to 10 if you're lucky.
No, I could see that. I was just talking about the message. 'Cause if you put something up there that for, let's just say, for a live club, not an online thing, and the tickets are $5, the immediate thought to the consumer is, this is not a professional show. Who charges $5? It's subliminal. You don't actually go through that thought process. But when somebody puts something out that's too cheap, you automatically think it's not a quality production or a quality product or quality service. It's just too cheap. And because that old adage is, nothing, things are worth what you pay for them. Nothing is free. And that sounds like a free lunch, and it's too good to be true. What if it's any good, why are they only charging $5 for it?
Well, yeah. I grew up in a marketplace where I used to sell televisions I was a commissioned salesperson. And Samsung, when they first came out with the televisions, and Hitachi also, they had good product. They had good product, but they weren't a known brand. Back then, Sony was the big name. Panasonic was the big name. Zenith was the big name. But Hitachi and Samsung were making the parts for Sony, and they were making all the parts inside of a Sony was being made by Hitachi and Samsung. All the parts inside of a Zenith was being made by Samsung and Hitachi. So Samsung and Hitachi said, we're going to make our own television sets. And they made good stuff. And so what they did was they made them and they sold them with a lot cheaper and with a longer warranty. Like Hitachi used to have a 10-year warranty when Sony had like a 1 or 2 or 3 year warranty. And so people going to Hitachi and Samsung, and now look at them now because they undercut them. People realize, hey, this is a good product. Now we can raise our prices.
Yeah. Just for the audience, I don't know if they appreciate the fact that GD, when Alexander Graham Bell was first testing the telephone, GD was the voice on the other end of the line. So
I'm just saying there was a time back.
Well, before
the time, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, GD. But GD's first job, they should know, was caretaking for the carrier pigeons that delivered all the messages before then. So yeah.
Zenith. He mentioned Zenith as a brand name. Your grandfather used to use it.
Actually, back then, Leanne, I was actually I corrected the type on the messages for the pigeons. I was the autocorrect at the time.
All right. Have you had? I hate to put you on the spot or any of this and try to make it put any negativity on this thing at all. But have you had any major I want to say like Dave Chappelle's level type, a Bill Burr type people show an interest in plausible? Do they know that what's going on? And has anybody said, well, this could be something that could work for me? Anybody on that like upper tier of comedy yet?
Dave has not been on plausible yet.
Yeah,
I say yet. So. No, I think it would be really cool to.
I think that's what we'll take. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think if we work together on just trying to reach out to these people to come on and do one like a big Nate Bargatze, that would put you on the map in a sense for everybody underneath that on that level. One of these big stars who's willing to give back to the comic community to say, I'm going to do this for everybody who's struggling to make it in comedy. That would be a big thing for everybody on the platform.
Right? I agree 100%. Yeah.
We'll work on that. I mean, I'll work on that for you. But listen, I'm serious about this. I can put my energy into that. But I'm imploring more people who are listening to this, comedians, especially if you've already signed up for Plausible. If you're thinking about signing up for Plausible today, it doesn't take much. We could put together a form letter. Everybody bombard all these friggin' big stars and say, it's time for you to give back. Comedy has provided you with a helicopter and a mansion and everything. It's time for you to give back to the community a little bit. And here's a way that you can do it that will cost you nothing. You'll actually make money. Your fans will enjoy it. And you'll be giving back to the community at the same time. I just made the elevator pitch. There you go.
And you're hired.
I was talking to Leanne's IT boy toy, Is that his title? Is that his official
The
title?
husband? Yeah.
Yeah, your husband, your IT boy toy.
Yeah.
And I told him, because I said, what's going to happen is, with the work I'm trying to do, once I get it to an art, somebody with the big name is going to come along and swoop it up, and Eliane is never going to talk to me again. She's going to be like, okay, thank you, Glenn, thank you for your help, but we've got Dave Patel now. We don't need you.
I'm gonna disappear to a small island somewhere with no technology. That's what's gonna happen. No, I think it would. I honestly, in looking forward to the day where some of the bigger names and more recognized names in comedy get on Plausible and take advantage of it, because, it's Plausible isn't to replace in person or any of those things that we're accustomed to when it comes to entertainment, but it can definitely bridge a gap. And I think, and it can reach people who wouldn't normally otherwise have access to some of these bigger names or even up and coming names, which I think is really exciting.
Absolutely.
And so I think there's a gap in the industry that we can fill, and having some of these other people come in and play, it will really lift up everybody else in the industry, because it's really fragmented right now.
I am very
And also,
sure
think about
that
the
there
fact
is
that,
a
like, a smaller
future.
comedian, I'm just saying, like a lesser known comedian like myself, I have like friends and family all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the show I'm doing in Hanover in October. None of them are going to fly across the country or drive to see me. But if I pull my shit together and I actually can stream that on Plausible in October, they actually have an opportunity to see me. Instead of me driving out, instead of waiting for me to come out to Ohio or Iowa again, which may not be for another year, they will, perhaps.
I have friends across the
Because
country
you look
that
Haitian
never
and
visit me.
they think you're going to eat their pets. Is that?
Well,
why you're
I'm not
going on?
Haitian, but yes, I might eat their pets.
Oh, totally. Good cat sandwich.
I'm sorry. Ron was saying something, and that was like only the second time this year, and I cut him off.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like I have a lot of friends across the country, but they won't come visit me.
I have friends and family who live nearby sometimes, depending on where I'm living, and they won't come see me. So.
Yeah. I have no doubt that there is a future for the vision that you have. Here's my experience and problem. Not problem. I don't know the right words to describe what I'm about to say, but I have worked with many early adopters of technology who had the brilliant idea. They put the platform together. They established a need and a want for the service. And then somebody else came along and with big dollars copied it and made a huge success out of it. And that's a friggin' nightmare. But I've seen that play out 3 or 4 times with different people. Somebody I know, I'm going to mention her name, Vivian McKinder, who is a friend of mine. She created Hair Designer TV in the late 1990s. She's a high-end hairstylist who was a protege of Vidal Sassoon and Trevor Sorby. Big money hairdressers. If you know the hair and beauty world, you know those names. Mm-hmm. She created an online learning platform for hairdressers to learn that kind of red carpet look stuff and started putting those lessons together. A number of big magazines and beauty magazines noticed what she was doing. They put millions of dollars into their platform and kind of ate her lunch. I hope that doesn't happen to you, but it's kind of like, and even if that should happen to you, you deserve all the credit for what you're doing. But it's that kind of fear in me would make me, like, you know what, be willing to compromise and sell out to anybody with money or who's willing to invest in it. Have you pursued any like angel investors to trying to boost this kind of stuff up?
Yeah, that's been part of it. That's how I got started as an early pre-seed investor. So because it is a huge investment, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of really talented people to do this. I can't say I did it. It's just, I mean, you're just seeing me, but I hired really smart people to build it, and they've done an amazing job. But yeah, I think going to your fear of someone else coming in and going, that's a good idea, I'll just do it myself. I have deeper pockets and can do it faster, better, easier.
Damn Netflix.
I think, yeah, they, you know, there's that possibility. But I also think that in any entrepreneurial venture, there's that risk. That's
Right.
a possibility. I try to do my best to protect, you know, what I have and how I roll it out and who I hire and all those kind of things. But there are no guarantees in life. I hope that that doesn't happen. And at the same time, I'm actively pursuing, you know, finding the right people to propel it forward, whether it's additional investors or whether it's, you know, the right comedy professionals to get on here and to get the word out, talking to people such as yourself and just doing all of the things I possibly can do to make it successful. But
Yeah.
I can't control necessarily the rest of the world, but I can certainly do what I can to protect what I have and then also, you know, get it out there on my own.
Right.
My
We
team.
have to say goodbye to Governor's Comedy Clubs here on Long Island right now. We're on the Governor's Comedy Club Network from 9 a.m. to 10:45, and we're already 4 minutes over that.
Oh, no.
Look forward to